Imagine opening your grocery receipt, staring at the total, and feeling that familiar punch in the gut. The quiet panic that whispers, "This isn't sustainable anymore," because that was me not too long ago, standing in my kitchen with bags on the counter and numbers in my head that simply didn't add up. And today I'm going to walk you through exactly how I cut my grocery bill by 40% without extreme couponing, without eating junk, and without sacrificing the meals I actually enjoy. But before I break it down, let me be clear. This wasn't a magic trick. It was a mindset shift combined with a system I slowly built after realizing that groceries had quietly become my second largest monthly expense. And once I saw that number clearly for the first time, everything changed, because the problem wasn't that food was expensive. The problem was that I was shopping on autopilot, reacting to cravings, marketing, and habits I never questioned. So the first step in this transformation wasn't about money at all, it was awareness. I tracked every grocery purchase for a full month, not just totals but what I bought, why I bought it, and how much of it actually got eaten. And what shocked me most wasn't the price of staples, it was the silent money leaks, duplicate sauces, half-used vegetables, impulse snacks, and, just in case, items that quietly expired in the fridge. So once I saw the waste in black and white, I stopped blaming inflation and started redesigning my approach. And this is where the real breakdown begins, because the biggest savings came from changing how I planned, not how I shopped. Instead of deciding what to buy at the store, I started deciding what to eat before I ever left the house. Not complicated meal prep, just 3 core meals for the week with flexible ingredients. Meals that shared components so nothing went unused, like one protein becoming multiple dishes, one vegetable serving more than one purpose. And this alone dropped my spending instantly because it eliminated random buying. And then came the rule that changed everything. No grocery item entered my cart unless it already had a job, meaning I knew exactly when and how it would be used. And that single rule alone cut impulse spending dramatically. But the real financial shift happened when I separated food I love from food that loves my wallet, because I realized I didn't need premium versions of everything. I needed premium versions of the few things that actually mattered to me. So I stopped overpaying for branded basics and redirected that money toward quality proteins and fresh produce, which sounds counterintuitive but actually reduced waste and increased satisfaction. Because when food tastes better, you're less likely to snack mindlessly. And speaking of snacks, that was another hidden budget killer. I wasn't hungry, I was bored, rushed, or stressed, and the grocery store was feeding that emotional habit. So instead of banning snacks, I redesigned them, buying fewer items in bulk and portioning them intentionally, which cut both cost and consumption. And then there was timing, something most people ignore completely. I stopped shopping randomly and started shopping strategically, choosing one consistent day each week and never going hungry, which prevented emotional spending. And I learned the rhythm of my store. When produce was freshest, when markdowns appeared, and when shelves were restocked. And that knowledge alone saved me money without clipping a single coupon. But one of the biggest breakthroughs was understanding unit pricing, not just looking at the sticker price but the cost per unit, because many deals were actually more expensive long-term. And once I trained my eye to spot that, my cart automatically became cheaper. And here's where the 40% reduction really locks in. I stopped treating groceries like entertainment. No more wandering aisles for inspiration. No more buying ingredients for recipes I'd never cooked. No more falling for packaging designed to make me feel like I was missing out. Instead, I treated groceries like fuel with intention. And suddenly my average weekly spend dropped week after week. And the best part is I didn't feel deprived. I felt in control, because control is the opposite of deprivation. And that's something nobody talks about. Saving money feels good when it's aligned with purpose. And when I compared my before and after numbers, the difference was undeniable. Same calories, better nutrition, less waste, more money left over. And the final piece that made this sustainable was reflection. Every month I reviewed what worked and adjusted, not to be perfect but to be aware. And that's why this method works long-term, because it's flexible, realistic, and rooted in behavior, not restriction. So if you're looking at your grocery bill and wondering how it quietly became so expensive, know this. It's not about extreme frugality, it's about intentional systems. And once you build one that fits your life, the savings don't just show up on receipts. They show up in peace of mind, confidence, and the quiet relief of knowing you're finally telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. And that is exactly how I cut my grocery bill by 40%, step by step, without sacrificing the life I actually want to live.